Ravenden Springs, west of Pocahontas, was once a 19th century spa town. It was also the location of Arkansas's first school, which happened to be in a cave. There are many interesting sights here along Halls Creek Canyon, so join us for this Trail Less Traveled. It was called Arkansas's dream town, Ravenden Springs, which happens to be one of the oldest settlements in the state. It all began in 1880 when a Methodist minister, Reverend William Bailey, had a dream of a healing spring at the bottom of Halls Creek Canyon near where the Baileys lived. In his dream, Reverend Bailey, after drinking from the spring, was cured of his lingering stomach ailment. So that led him to try out the spring for real, and after drinking from it several times, he had complete relief of his stomach problem. And so the nickname Dreamtown was soon applied to the community that grew up around the spring. About 50 yards up from Bailey's stomach spring is Eye Spring. Its waters supposedly cured sore eyes. Eventually, 3 other springs were discovered in the canyon, each with its own healing property, or so it was claimed. Arthritis Spring, Kidney Spring, and Heart Spring. As news of the healing spring spread, and folks started coming in from all over, it didn't take long for the 40-room Southern Hotel to be built just above the main stomach spring, with steps leading down to the spring. The geography of this area also made it feasible and attractive for settlers.
This part of the state is the first hilly area you enter when you enter from Missouri. Everything south and east of us was flat swampland, full of snakes and mosquitoes and disease, and not many wagons made it through there. All the settling of Arkansas came through this county because anything south or east of here was flat as a pancake and hard to get through. So they followed the foothills of the Ozarks, and Randolph County is the first place in Arkansas that you find those hills. So that's why everything came through here first. We had the first post office in Arkansas, the first land office, the first courthouse. It was all Arkansas territory then. It wasn't Arkansas yet. And in fact, these things, a lot of them were there before Arkansas territory was formed. It was part of Missouri at the time. So we have a long, long history here.
Hiking through Halls Creek Canyon is quite the adventure in itself. You'll first come upon the documented site of Arkansas's first school, which happens to be a cave.
An ancestor of mine, Caleb Lindsay, formed the first school in Arkansas in this cave, in this canyon, shortly after the Louisiana Purchase. I know that my other ancestors were among the first settlers in the county, and it's just a matter of looking back in the history. I can tell you from what's written on the wall back here that page 43 of Lawrence Dalton's History of Randolph County tells the full story of this cave, and that's what I'm going to go home and read later today.
If you can just imagine this cave being a schoolhouse in around 1817 or so, and all the children of the area having to make their way down this canyon, and what with all black bears in this region, just to come here to get an education. Now that's something. Beside the school cave is what is known as the Blue Pool, said to be bottomless. Another quarter-mile or less, you'll come to Elephant Cave. No elephants here, though. It's so named for its large size. Above Elephant Cave, about 20 feet or so in the face of the bluff, is Raven's Den. Although difficult to spot through the foliage, early explorers reported ravens nesting there in a small cave. And so, from Raven's Den plus the springs, hence the name Ravenden Springs. Just up from Elephant Cave around the bend, rising some 75 feet from the canyon floor, is Lone Rock, quite an impressive column of rock that over eons has separated from the canyon wall and stands as a monolith. Halls Creek Canyon in Ravenden Springs is quite the place to see and explore.
It's a wonderful place for a kid to grow up out in the woods and running up and down the canyon, getting lost and getting found. And I was here in the 50s, and my kids were here in the 80s, and my grandkids are here now. And it'd be a wonderful place to develop and get a little more people to come and see what Ravenden Springs has down here in the canyon. We'd invite everybody to come and look, and especially people that might want to help us develop it.
This was quite the place back when folks used to come down from St. Louis and Chicago for those healing springs.
Waters was something back in the 1800s that, like I mentioned, that my dad came to Ravenden Springs and Heber Springs and Hot Springs, and him and everybody back then drank the water, swam in it, put it on their eyes, and hoped that it would work. And so, but the spa days were back around 1880, and things have moved on, and everybody has their own doctor now.
But you can still take in the water at Bailey's Stomach Spring, if you so desire. Find out where we're headed next in my blog at myarkansaspbs.org, brand new each Monday. And don't forget to download the Engage Arkansas PBS app for some really cool Trails photo frames and details about how to enter our Trails contest.